Hey there, Intelligent Automation community. First off, you probably noticed things look a little different today as I'm visiting family for the holidays. But wanted to make sure that I've got one of these out. Particularly interesting news right now. My team and I have worked with companies across the healthcare spectrum this year, including what seems to be just about every angle of COVID-19 vaccine research, development, and clinical trials. I'm very excited to share some stellar news as this is the last video of 2020. Last week, Blue Prism digital workers were deployed for Phase 1A COVID-19 vaccine tracking across 18 states. As healthcare workers are inoculated, software robots are pulling records from Epic and Cerner and updating government registries within 24 hours of the dosage. In some instances, Blue Prism digital workers are also tracking vial and batch information within Salesforce.com. The way that data is entered into each state's immunization information system is slightly different, but the data items themselves and the overall process is fairly consistent and repeatable. Consequently, this is the type of use case that can be built once and then scales across many different states and potentially other countries without a ton of rework. Of course, from a benefit perspective, you have the benefit that software robots are able to act very quickly and provide more real-time information to healthcare workers and governments. But you also have the accuracy that comes from a software robot entering information always 100% the same time versus human workers that are rekeying numbers all day and eventually going to fat finger an extra digit. Finally, you can enable an immutable audit log that narrates how information is flowing between hospitals and government systems. Now, who knows? I could be on video with you a week from now reporting that yet another federal agency has blamed RPA for overwhelming their systems. But in this case, the 24-hour turnaround SLA on reporting was mandated by the government, and they know how many vaccines should be reported. So hopefully there won't be any surprises. If you'd like to learn more about how RPA can rapidly address acute processing needs like this, maybe check out the webinar that I did with Ascension Health and Highmark Health over the summer. Now, switching gears, the US government is currently planning to issue another $284 billion for another round of Small Business Administration Paycheck Protection Program loans. The first PPP loan program distributed over $660 million to 5 million roughly borrowers, but 92% of the loans were under $250,000. This created a massive amount of new paperwork, data verification requirements, and workflow integration that left smaller financial institutions scrambling to keep up. Some banks tackled this issue with intelligent automation, and then the Small Business Administration blamed RPA software robots for overloading the E-Tran loan portal. The SBA then opened up API-based submissions to the E-Tran loan platform as a workaround to RPA bots hammering the user interface. However, there's a lot more that goes into issuing one of these PPP SBA loans than just the data entry that goes into the E-Tran portal. Now, the new Paycheck Protection Program is supposed to be simplified for loans under $150,000. But there's also new requirements related to the demonstration of revenue loss by loan applicants. If we go back a little bit, by June of 2020, 72% of PPP loans were distributed by less than 1,000 of the 5,500 participating lenders. And while banking and finance isn't my area of specialty, my read from the numbers today looks like a lot of banks and financial institutions, most that are handling less than $10 billion in assets, are still going to have a lot of issues keeping up with the demand of this new PPP loan program in the new wave. Now, if you're a financial institution that falls into this category, fortunately, there's a short window of time that seems like you'll be able to get ahead of this onslaught before all the new loan applications hit. The team at Lateetud has created a cloud-based SBA PPP loan origination solution that is based around a spectrum of intelligent automation technologies. It's an end-to-end solution that integrates your core banking and financial systems with the SBA E-Tran through APIs. It's all okay, government. And most importantly for you, it can be live in less than a week. So this Lateetud SBA loan solution is pretty cool. It uses a custom portal that they built out for borrower and processor interactions, automated correspondence, and status updates. Then it uses intelligent document understanding and extraction to pull information out of loan documents. Then it uses robotic process automation for pre-origination and underwriting. And then finally, it has automated SBA PPP E-Tran submission that's done through, again, APIs versus the user interface. The team at Lateetud is doing a live webinar on their PPP loan solution every Tuesday at 3 o'clock Eastern Time. So the webinar on December 29th is particularly well timed if you haven't already seen this. I'll post a link to that down in the comments below. Finally, for me, the week around New Year's always tends to turn into the time that I catch up on an annual backlog of projects around the house. I also tend to throw in a couple earbuds and listen to podcasts while I'm getting work done. If you're in the same boat as me, then maybe check out the Generation Digital Workforce podcast series. Each episode has experts on RPA, machine learning, AI, basically figure out a buzzword in the intelligent automation space, and they probably have an expert on there. There's about 70 podcasts in total in this series at this point, and so if you've already watched this video this long, there must be something of interest to you. You'll probably find a whole episode just on that in the Generation Digital Workforce podcast. As always, if you're interested in that podcast or anything that I've covered in this video, I'll have links down in the first comments below. Have a great week and stay safe, please. We're about to put 2020 in the rearview mirror, and I look forward to it. See you in 2021.